Welcome to this channel and welcome to a conversation that could change the way you see yourself, your challenges, and the road ahead. If life has recently tested you, if you've experienced setbacks that made you question yourself, disappointments that drained your confidence, or moments when giving up seemed easier than continuing, I want you to know something before we begin. You are not finished. A difficult season does not mean you have a difficult future. A setback does not mean your story has ended. And one painful chapter does not have the authority to define the entire book of your life. Today, we're going to talk about something far more powerful than circumstances, your mental attitude, because sometimes the greatest battle you're fighting isn't happening around you. It's happening within you. And when you learn how to strengthen your mind, protect your hope, and choose your response, even when life doesn't go according to plan, you begin to discover a strength you may not have known you possessed. So take a moment, settle in, and give this message your full attention. Because we're not here simply to make you feel good for a few minutes. We're here to build a mindset that can stand when life gets difficult. There are people who allow difficult circumstances to defeat them. And there are people who face those same circumstances and somehow find the strength to rise again. The difference is not always intelligence. It is not always money, education, connections, or luck. One of the greatest differences is mental attitude. And let me be clear, a positive mental attitude does not mean pretending everything is fine when it isn't. It doesn't mean smiling through genuine pain or ignoring the problems in front of you. It means learning to face reality without surrendering your hope. It means looking at difficulty and saying, "This may be hard, but I will not allow it to decide who I become." That is the kind of attitude that can transform a life. So ask yourself something. What is controlling your mind today? Is it fear, doubt, regret, resentment? Or is it faith, purpose, gratitude, courage, and determination? Your mind will always be influenced by something. If you don't consciously direct your thoughts, circumstances, other people's opinions, and your past experiences can easily begin directing them for you. And that is where the battle begins. Your circumstances may not always be under your control, but your response to them is where your power begins. So today, we're going to build this idea from the ground up. I'll show you how to change the way you interpret setbacks, how to protect your attention, how to develop a stronger relationship with your goals, and how to turn positive thinking into positive action. Because by the end, you shouldn't simply feel more positive. You should know how to become more difficult to defeat. And the final principle is the foundation that makes all of this work. And that's where the real transformation begins. Number one, decide what you want. You cannot develop a powerful mental attitude while constantly drifting without direction. You need something worth moving toward, a purpose, a goal, a reason to get up when you don't feel motivated. When you know what you're working toward, difficult days become easier to endure because you understand why you're continuing. Ask yourself, what do I truly want? What kind of person do I want to become? What kind of life am I trying to build? What goal would make the struggle worth it? Be specific. Don't simply say, "I want success." Define what success means to you. Maybe you want to build a business, improve your finances, strengthen your family, develop a skill, create something meaningful, become healthier, serve others. Whatever it is, give your mind a clear direction. A person without direction can easily become controlled by distractions. But when your purpose becomes clear, your decisions become clearer too. You begin asking, does this move me toward my purpose or away from it? That one question can change how you spend your time. Number two, guard your mind from negative thinking. Negative thoughts will appear. Difficult experiences will happen. People will disappoint you. Plans will fail. But you don't have to give every negative thought a permanent home in your mind. When fear says, "You can't do this," don't automatically believe it. When failure says, "It's over," remember that a setback is not the same thing as the end. When your past says, "This is who you are," remember that your past does not have to become your future. You must become careful about the thoughts you repeatedly entertain. If you constantly tell yourself that you're incapable, hopeless, unlucky, or destined to fail, you eventually begin living according to those beliefs. So change the conversation. Instead of, "I can't do this," say, "I can learn how to do this." Instead of, everything is against me. Say, I will focus on what I can control. Instead of, I've failed, say, I've discovered what didn't work, now I can adjust. This isn't about lying to yourself. It's about refusing to make defeat your identity. Number 3, control what you feed your mind. What you repeatedly consume can influence the way you think. So be intentional. Be careful about the conversations you constantly participate in. Be careful about the people whose opinions you allow to shape your confidence. Be careful about spending hours consuming fear, anger, gossip, comparison, and negativity. Your mind needs better material. Read things that challenge you. Listen to messages that strengthen you. Study people who overcame difficult circumstances. Spend time with people who encourage growth. And most importantly, spend time in prayer and reflection if faith is part of your life. Give your mind something greater to focus on. You cannot constantly feed your mind hopelessness and expect it to produce courage. You have to become the guardian of your inner world. Number 4, use your words to strengthen yourself. There is tremendous power in the way you speak to yourself. Your inner conversation matters. Every morning, remind yourself of what you're building. Say, I will keep moving forward. I will not allow fear to make my decisions. I can learn from this. I will become stronger through this experience. My purpose is greater than this temporary difficulty. You may not feel powerful when you first say these things. That's okay. You are building a new pattern of thinking through repetition and action. But remember something important. Words alone are not enough. Don't simply repeat positive statements while refusing to change your behavior. Let your words lead to action. If you say you're disciplined, practice discipline. If you say you're courageous, take the difficult step. If you say you believe in your future, work toward it. Your actions give weight to your words. Number 5, build discipline when motivation disappears. Motivation feels good, but motivation comes and goes. Some mornings you'll feel inspired. Other mornings you'll feel tired. There will be days when you don't want to work, study, exercise, create, pray, or continue. Those moments are where discipline becomes important. Discipline means doing what matters, even when your emotions aren't cooperating. It means choosing the important task instead of the easiest distraction, read instead of scrolling, work instead of endlessly planning, save instead of constantly spending, practice instead of waiting to feel ready, get up instead of repeatedly pressing the snooze button. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, you strengthen your confidence. And every time you repeatedly abandon your commitments, you make it easier to quit the next time. You don't need to transform your entire life overnight. Start with one promise, keep it, then make another. That is how strength is built. Number 6, learn to see adversity differently. Some of the hardest moments in your life may eventually become some of your greatest teachers. Failure can teach you, loss can change your priorities, disappointment can reveal people's character, rejection can redirect you. A difficult season can force you to discover strength you didn't know you possessed. This doesn't mean every painful experience is good. Pain is still pain, loss is still loss, but you can decide what you will build from the experience. You can say, this hurt me, but it will not destroy me. I lost something, but I can still rebuild. I made a mistake, but I can learn. This door closed, but I will keep searching for another. That is the difference between being defeated by adversity and being shaped by it. Number 7, stop giving circumstances complete control over your attitude. Two people can experience the same disappointment and respond completely differently. One becomes bitter, the other becomes wiser. One gives up, the other adjusts. One spends years complaining, the other asks, what can I do next? You may not control what happened, but you can choose what happens next. Someone may disappoint you. You cannot control their character, but you can control your boundaries. You may lose an opportunity. You cannot change the past, but you can prepare yourself for the next opportunity. You may experience failure, but you can decide whether failure becomes an excuse or a lesson. That is where personal responsibility begins. Number 8, choose your environment carefully. Your environment matters. If you constantly surround yourself with people who discourage every dream, mock every ambition, and complain about every possibility, protecting your mindset becomes much harder. This doesn't mean you should hate people who struggle. It means you should be intentional about who has significant influence over your thinking. Look for people who encourage responsibility, people who tell you the truth, people who challenge you to improve, people who celebrate your progress without feeding your ego, and become that kind of person for others too. Don't only search for positive people, become a positive influence yourself. Number 9, don't confuse positivity with denial. A strong positive attitude does not mean ignoring reality. Sometimes you need to admit, this isn't working. Sometimes you need to change direction. Sometimes you need to apologize. Sometimes you need to walk away. Sometimes you need to rest. Sometimes you need help. Real strength isn't pretending you never struggle. Real strength is refusing to let your struggles permanently define you. You can acknowledge the storm without believing the storm will last forever. You can feel fear without allowing fear to make every decision. You can experience sadness without surrendering your future. That is a mature form of positivity. Number 10, protect your purpose. Now we come to one of the most important principles. You need a reason strong enough to keep you moving when motivation disappears. Your purpose becomes your anchor. Ask yourself, what am I willing to work for? What am I willing to sacrifice for? What kind of person do I want to become? What do I want my life to mean? Write it down, read it regularly, pray about it, work toward it, and remember it whenever you feel tempted to quit. A clear purpose doesn't make life effortless. It gives your effort meaning. When your purpose is clear, temporary discomfort becomes easier to endure because you understand what you're moving toward. An unbreakable positive mental attitude isn't built in one powerful moment. It is built through hundreds of small decisions. You choose hope when disappointment appears. You choose discipline when motivation disappears. You choose courage when fear arrives. You choose forgiveness instead of allowing resentment to consume you. You choose action instead of endless excuses. You choose faith when you cannot see the entire path. And you choose to rise every time life knocks you down. Remember this, you are not required to control everything that happens around you. But you can work on controlling what you allow those circumstances to produce inside you. Protect your mind, protect your purpose, protect your faith, protect your discipline, and keep moving forward. There will be days when you feel strong. There will also be days when you feel exhausted. On those days, don't demand perfection. From yourself, just take the next step, then another, and another. Because sometimes victory doesn't look like a dramatic breakthrough. Sometimes victory is simply refusing to quit. So from this day forward, make a decision. I will not allow temporary circumstances to determine my permanent attitude. I will learn from failure. I will rise after setbacks. I will protect my mind. I will pursue my purpose. And I will keep moving forward. If you believe you're ready to strengthen your mindset, comment, "I will not quit" below. And if this message encouraged you, like this video, subscribe to the channel and share it with someone who needs strength today. Keep your mind strong, keep your purpose clear, and keep moving forward. Your story is not finished yet.